Hey guys, Bookazelle here, and welcome back to 999. Last episode, we went through door 8, went to the laboratory, and we did all the puzzles. And right now, we skipped to the third time we had to choose a door. The first time was door 4 and 5, second time is door 3, 7, and 8, and now we're at 1, 2, and 6. So, right now, the choice that I'm gonna make is door 6.
I want to go through door 6.
Junpei flipped open the piece of paper. It read Junpei, door 6. Of course it did. He'd written it after all.
That's a problem.
Junpei spoke above a whisper, but they all knew what she
None
said.
of these teams will be able to go through the doors they want.
Clover and I chose door 1.
Lotus and I chose door 2.
That's not enough people to open a numbered door, however.
The digital routes don't match up either.
We've got similar problems. Junpei and I want to go through door 6, but our digital route is 5. If we're gonna open that door, we need a 1.
Damn, what are we gonna do now?
What are we going to do?
Junpei crossed his arms and he did his best to put his thoughts in order. The others followed suit, but with little result. Eventually, Clover broke the silence.
Why don't Seven and Lotus go through door 1 with me?
Her face was cold and flat, and as was her voice, but her logic was sound. Seven and Lotus looked at each other. 2 plus 8 plus 4 is 19, 1 plus 9 is 10, 10 is 1 plus 0 is 1. The first problem resolved. They spoke up.
What about me?
Isn't that obvious? Wasn't one of the teams just complaining that they didn't have a 1?
You mean I should join Santa's team?
Yes.
Yes. Clover nodded, her face still cold and emotionless. Her attitude and posture could not have been more different than the energetic girl of only a few hours before. No one seemed ready to contradict her. Her response was understandable, given the horrible situation in which she had found herself, but even so...
Huh. I understand. I'll go through door 6 then. If we do as Clover has suggested, we can all pass through a numbered door and no one will be left behind. This seems to be the most reasonable solution.
3 plus 6 plus 5 plus 1 is 15, 1 plus 5 is 6.
7. Lotus, what do you guys think?
I don't have a problem with it.
Me either.
Alright then, we're good to go.
See you later.
Wait, Clover! Don't move on your own!
Oh, I'll be going too then.
Yeah, be careful.
We should get going as well.
So now we should not be able to get the X ending because we're not with Clover in the captain's quarters. At last, Junpei and the other 6 had managed to separate themselves into 2 teams. Clover, 7, and Lotus headed to A deck, where the door for 1 was, near the main staircase. Junpei, June, Ace, and Santa, however, took the elevator to E deck. The ride to E deck was a silent one.
This is E deck.
There should be a door at the end of the hall.
Alright, let's go.
Santa's words jolted them into action, and they stepped out of the elevator into a long, straight hallway. That's the door we discovered. Before long, they arrived in front of door 6. That's the door when we were like, no, you're gonna get wet down there.
Here it is. You guys ready? Yeah. Then let's get to it.
One by one, they put their palms over the red. With a soft electronic noise, they authenticated each of them. The door opened, and all at once, the 4 of them leaped through it.
Hey! I found it! It's right there!
Fortunately, the dead was located easily enough. This one had been placed quite close to the door they entered through. They gathered around it quickly and hurriedly placed their palms on it for authentication one by one. I don't know why I said hurried back.
It stopped.
Yes! It stopped!
The countdown had ceased, but Junpei's heart was still pounding in his chest like a frantic, thunderous drum. It felt as though it might shake itself up and out of his throat.
Whew. I don't believe I'll ever get used to that.
I'm not sure it's something I'd want to get used to. We should finish this game before imminent death becomes a normal thing.
You got that right. Once I'm out of this hellhole, I'm taking a nice long vacation.
I agree.
With that, the doom and gloom from before was done, and the mood turned somewhat lighter.
All right, let's go.
With that attempt at good humor, Junpei took a deep breath and began to walk. He jogged down the stairs at the end of the hallway and found himself staring at a large door.
This door looks heavy.
But it's not locked. I'm opening it.
He took hold of the bar that served as a doorknob and shoved it down. The room beyond stopped him in his tracks. It's gigantic. It was a gargantuan Leviathan. It was gargantuan and made entirely of metal. None of the accents of wood or tile he'd seen in the rest of the ship. This room was purely functional, but utterly tremendous.
Whoa, what the hell is this?
The engine room, sure. I'm sure it's the engine room, right? Santa got out a few words before Oz told the rest of them. The rest were too stunned to offer anything more than gasps.
This has to be the biggest room so far. The ceiling is pretty high, too.
I love how, like, his voice is kind of echoing.
Huh. Could be 2 stories, maybe even more.
This space could be utilizing the entire length of the ship.
What's that huge Kamaboko-looking building in the middle?
He pointed out the massive building in the center. Guess this one?
Kamaboko? Well, I guess that's as good of a description of it as any.
Junpei and the others were standing on scaffolding that crisscrossed the whole area. The proper term was catwalk, Junpei thought, although that didn't seem particularly important.
I see stairs, so we may as well head over to them.
Yeah, but this section's barely wide enough to fit one person.
You're right.
Nearby was a long iron staircase that made its way eventually to the floor beneath them.
Whoa, you can't even tell the shape when you're this close.
Let's check out the other side, too.
They moved around towards the opposite side of the massive building, following the catwalk. They hadn't said much as they walked in, but they approached the building. As they approached the building, Ace suddenly spoke up.
This looks to be the steam engine room.
The steam engine room?
Yes, that thing that looks like a cross-section of a mushroom is the boiler. Do you see the 3 round doors near the bottom? Coal is put into those and burned, which heats the water, producing steam. The same thing that drives a steam engine. This one is simply somewhat larger.
I see.
It doesn't appear to be running right now.
The entire room was as silent as a grave.
All right, let's split up.
Then all of a sudden, Junpei heard a noise behind him. He turned just in time to see June collapse to her knees. Ah, not again.
Hey, what's wrong? Are you all right?
I love her. One of her eyes is open with a little tear right here. Like she's really, really feverish. He dashed toward her and wrapped his arm around her shoulders to steady her.
Hey, June.
It was then that he noticed.
Jumpy.
Oh, you're really warm. Is your fever coming back?
Yes, it probably is, but I'm fine. Please, don't worry about me. I just need to rest, and I'll be fine.
Her voice was weak and forced, and it said a great deal more than her word. Ugh, come on. Her voice was weak and forced, and it said a great deal more than her words did.
Okay, here, sit down, careful.
Junpei carried her to the nearest wall and propped her up against it. She let her head fall back against the wall, and if she no longer had the strength to support it, as if she had no longer the strength to support it, and drew a ragged breath.
Thank you.
Her eyes were empty, as if she was having trouble focusing them, and even speaking seemed difficult for her. Junpei felt his hand ball itself into a fist and clench tight, his knuckles whitening. He had to find a way out, and quickly. He turned and looked at Ace and Santa in turn.
Ace, Santa.
Yes.
Right.
They might not have shared the depth of his emotion, but they certainly shared his concern.
All right, let's get started. Hang in there, June. I'm gonna get you out of here real soon.
He managed a small nod. She managed it. It was not he. It was she managed a small nod before leaning back to rest her head on the wall. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's go. Seek a way out. I love doing that. Alright. A tunnel. It goes all the way across the crypt. Across the crypt, everyone! Yes! Across the ship. Okay. There's a square hole. Nothing in here. Ah, look at the back of the back wall there. I can see 3 small slots, terminals for some sort of connector, perhaps. You mean you think we're supposed to plug something in here? Perhaps. A golden gear. Doesn't look like it was always golden like this. Well, then I imagine it was prepared especially for this game. It looks like there's a door over there in this tunnel. The belt over there must deliver coal, which is then pickled. Pickled? Pickled, brain? Yeah, really? Pickled. Coal that's pickled. And this is why I love my dyslexia sometimes. Pickled coal. Picked up and thrown into this door. The door appears to be welded shut, however. It's a silver gear. Do you think it's made out of pure silver? No way. Silver is way too soft to use for a gear. It's gotta be steel or iron. Gotta be a steel or iron gear that's been coated with silver. Shouldn't have called it a silver gear then. Shouldn't have gotten your hopes up. Were you thinking you'd haul this thing back? Or nah, I think 7 would probably carry it, don't you? Or could probably carry it. I don't think so. Man, this thing is huge. I guess a ship this big needs something like that to power it. True, but I doubt a single boiler of this size could actually move a ship like this at any reasonable speed. You need at least 3, no, 4 of these. Huh, I guess you know a lot about boats, huh? Well, not really, it's just common sense, you know? Okay. This is the silver gear. That's... okay, oh, this is a different gear. A huge bronze gear. This has to be important. Okay, well, nothing much else here. Okay. Interesting. Can I go up here? Yes. The 3 sliders on the left are down, but this one's up. There are a number of images, or lines, engraved in these. I don't know where I got images from, guys. Like, my brain does weird shit when it reads. I suspect that we're meant to do something rather specific with them. Junpei, why don't you move that slider down? Well, there's no harm in trying, I suppose. Nothing. Nothing happened. Maybe it needs to be prepared somehow. You're saying if we did something somewhere else, it'd respond somehow? Yes, I suppose that's one way of putting it. One of these doors, one of the doors in the furnace, there's an A on it. There's a circular wheel in the center of the door. Alright, let's give that a suck or a twist. Well, it's noisy, but it opens. And it's totally pitch black in there. We should, go in here. Alright. Let's go. It looks just like the door we just went into. Huh, where are we? We must be on the other side, yes? Which would put us directly above the conveyor belt? At any rate, we should keep moving. There's a great deal we've yet to investigate. If you guys would stop talking so much. A catwalk. Huh. Alright, let's give this wheel a spin. What? That's weird. I don't feel any resistance. Gah! Ah, shit! He cut the wheel off. Good job, genius, you broke it. I didn't break it, it was already broken. I don't think we can do anything with that. Let's go back through B. C. Hand-operated winch. There's no wheel to turn. Oh yeah! I've got the new wheel. I've got the wheel pulled off on the other winch, don't I? Let's see if it fits. Sweet, it's a perfect fit, like they were made for each other. Not shaky at all. Good, I should be able to turn this now. Good work, Junpei. We should be able to haul up the wooden box now. You see? The wooden box. It's under the catwalk. Can you see it? It's hanging from the rope and the winch is... Oh my god, shut up, Ace. I know. You talk to me like as if I'm a toddler. Looks like there's some sort of device on the box. In the box. I'm not sure what it is. At any rate, you might as well turn that wheel now. I'm counting on you. Oh my god, if you would stop talking after one line, I would have done it by now. Alright, I'll turn the wheel. What's this? What happened? The wheel only turns to the left. It only turns to the left. Which means we can't reel up that rope. Yeah, we can only let the rope down. Interesting. I don't think that will be a problem. We will simply need to go downstairs after letting the wooden box down. I'll be counting on you, Junpei. Sure thing, no sweat. Okay.
I believe the box has reached the floor.
Yeah.
He stuck his head out over the side of the catwalk and looked down. The box that had only recently hung just below the catwalk now sat on the floor. It had come to rest near the end of the tunnel that covered the conveyor belt.
June's down over by there.
Junpei could see her still leaning against the wall as if she barely had any strength to sit up. Even from so far away, it was difficult to see that she had not improved. He almost thought he could see heat rising from her body.
She doesn't seem to be improving.
Ace's expression was inscrutable, but he'd said what they'd all been thinking.
Well, of course not. She's not gonna just get better right away, you know? It'll take time.
He tried desperately to convince himself that what he'd said was true.
What could be causing this, I wonder? Illness, perhaps?
Nah, it's gotta be exhaustion.
Santa's response was confident and certain.
She gets dropped into some weird-ass ship, forced to play some messed-up game. Think about it, it's a lot weirder that we aren't freaking out just like her, you know?
So you're saying we're abnormal?
Yeah. We're just running around this room, solving all these puzzles like it's just business as usual. How the hell could you call that normal? We're just guinea pigs.
Santa snorted in
A
disgust.
guinea pig? You mean like a lab rat? You mean we're being used for some sort of experiment? Is that what you're saying?
Dunno. But it does seem like a possibility, you know?
They stood there for a few more minutes, no one speaking until Santa turned and walked away from the winch. Junpei and Ace followed him.
You know, speaking of experiments...
Oh god, here we go, another explanation. Santa suddenly stopped.
There was this experiment some scientists did with rats. First, They took a squarish C-shaped tank and filled it with enough water that the rats could drown in it. The tank has 2 exits. Just to make it easy, we'll call one A and the other B. Exit A is pitch black, so dark even a rat can't see anything. But exit B is electrified, which means the rat can't leave through it. So, what would a rat do if it was put in this situation? Which exit would the rat choose?
Probably B, because they don't know that the thing is electrocuted or electrified. There was a moment of silence after Santa posed the question, and then Ace responded.
B, of course. The rat has no way of knowing that exit B is electrified.
Exactly.
Exactly. The rat goes to exit B. Of course, like I said, it's electrified, which means the rat can't get out that way. So, after a lot of trial and error, the rat finally finds exit A.
I can't say that's very interesting or relevant. It's simply the story of a laboratory experiment.
You're right. It isn't very interesting. Yet. See, these scientists repeated this experiment over and over, using hundreds of different rats over several generations. This produced some surprising results. With each generation, the rats took less time to find the correct exit. Eventually, a rat was put in the tank who instantly chose exit A without even attempting to go to exit B. But that wasn't the most impressive part. The same experiment was conducted in another laboratory, far from the original one, with the same results. No, on second thought, the results weren't really the same. The rats in this second experiment began the trials with significantly faster times than the first rats in the initial one. These rats weren't related to the others and had never even come in contact with them. And yet, they all easily found their way to exit A as though they already knew. What did it mean?
Are you suggesting something like telepathy? They were passing information to one another through some undetectable medium?
Ace looked skeptical. Santa snorted at him.
How the hell would I know? I'm not any kind of scientist. I don't know what made him do that, but I do know that story's true. And if you've got another explanation, I'd sure love to hear it. Come on, let's get going. There's still a lot here we haven't checked out. And we gotta get the hell out of here before June passes out.
Without waiting for a response, he turned around and started walking. Junpei, however, wasn't quite ready to leave the topic alone.
Hey, wait. There's something I want to ask you.
What?
Santa stopped and turned around.
Why did they use that tank for the experiment?
Huh?
Well, I mean, it seems like you could conduct the same experiment without the water. They could have just used a dry box, you know? If they needed to motivate the rats to escape, they could have, put some bait by exit B or something. I mean, do they really have to make it so the rats can drown?
Santa gave him a grim bark of a laugh.
You know, the word emergency comes from the same root as the word emerge. You ever think about that?
Huh?
It goes back to what Clover said about the experiment that they did on the ship, right? Like, there was an epiphany and danger. Like, they had to have an epiphany that they'd suddenly get when there's pressure, or like suddenly out of nowhere you have like, oh, that's how I solve it. And they use danger to motivate that, right? So maybe that's the same with these rats, that they put water in a tank to motivate them because it was dangerous.
Well, an emergency is something urgent, often something dangerous. And to emerge means to sort of come out, or appear, or rise out of something else. So what's going to emerge in an emergency? Inspiration.
Inspiration?
An epiphany.
Yeah. Think about it. When the chips are down, either you crack or your mind focuses and pulls up what you need.
So in an emergency, your real potential emerges. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That's why the rats had to drown. They had to be in danger. There had to be an emergency for inspiration to emerge.
Oh.
Yeah, it's the same. Junpei suddenly felt cold. The back of his head was aching and his stomach felt strange. Okay, so we need to go down. A wooden box. Let's see what's inside. Control panel. Oh, that probably needs to go in here. Maybe this hole is wherever the control panel goes. Well, there's no only one way to find out. In you go. Dude, you did it! Everything looks alright. Okay, but what do we do now? Why don't you press the button next to it? The orange one? Yes. Alright, I'll do that. Pushing. Sweet, all sorts of lights are lighting up on this thing. And oh, yes! I think I just heard something turn on. Oh! What's that? What happened? Chippy, look! The conveyor belt is moving. The conveyor belt? Well, I guess it's done moving now. There's still a bunch of coal in the belt, though. Looks like a bunch of it got dumped off on the end of the belt into that wooden box where we found the control panel. Coal, huh? Since the belt started moving, it's transported quite a bit of coal. It all drops on the left. Drops off on the left of the belt and right into the wooden box. Guess we got a box full of coal. You think we might need it for like welded shut? Not all of them should be welded shut, right? There's a small door inside it is welded shut as well. This one doesn't have one. No. This is a huge oven for this boiler. There are 3 open areas in it. Each of them open areas has a gear in it. So this is where you put coal into the furnace? Oh, that's where you put coal. That's right. I had a look at it earlier and it's rusted shut, I'm afraid. Perhaps you should check the other side. Can you check the other side? There's a pair of wooden boxes here. There's nothing in them. Look, Ace! It's some kind of snowman secret meeting! They're just bags full of sand. You use them as a counterweight when you're lifting something up with a pulley system. Man, you're too serious. Well, snowman. It's cute. Maybe here? There's a hole that let us put coal into the furnace. Maybe if we can get some coal in there and set it on fire? Yeah, let's do it. Alright, that's the last of it. No coal left in the wooden box. And nothing. Great. Well, I guess I should have expected that. Why would it just throwing coal into a coal furnace do anything? Oh well, a man can dream. Junpei, explain it to me again. You're planning to stoke the furnace with coal, which will heat the water, start up there, and make steam, which will then drive something else? Am I correct? In other words, you want to generate enough pressure with the steam to power the turbine and drive the steam engine, right? Yeah, I guess that's the gist of it. Well, in that case, this isn't enough coal. This furnace is enormous, so we're gonna need a whole hell of a lot more coal than this. Very well then, if the three of us work together, then we should manage to fill it much faster.
I want to help too.
Man, I totally didn't even see her walk up. Are you feeling up to that?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, right. You look like you're one stiff breeze away from falling over, June. I think you'd better rest some more, alright?
But
No arguing. You need your rest, so you just stay there. We'll handle this.
Okay. I understand.
Alright, time for some manly work. Let's get this coal into those furnaces. Man, this is a lot of work. Alright, I think this should be sufficient. Alright, now we just gotta light it. Junpei, hand me your matches. What makes you think I have matches? I see. Then how are we gonna light it? Perhaps there's a device nearby that will allow us to remotely ignite the coal. Let's take a look, shall we? Some sort of ignition device, huh? I'm suspecting that it's this thing. Is this? I think it might be. It probably is. I think this is how we might ignite the furnace. That means if we move that thing down. Alright, let's do it. Here we go. Hey, Junpei, Ace, look at this! There's big gears turning on the boiler here. Yay! Oh, we got some stuff in there. The gears. They're spinning. What the hell are you guys waiting for? Let's start looking. I'll take that. And I take that. And I'll take... No, that one. And I'll take that. Don't know how to use them, but... No clue how to use those. This is done. That's done. So... Okay, yes, let's use... I know, I didn't want to click those anyway. Hey, Junpei, where are you going? The only thing in there is a closed number door. Kind of pointless to go back, huh? Yeah, it sure is. Hey, Junpei, what are you doing? It's hotter than hell in there. Oh, no. Okay, maybe we shouldn't go in the furnace. Did you already forget that we lit the furnace? Yes, you're right. Okay, so we can't go there. Okay. So it's gotta be here somewhere then. Where? Maybe we need to put them here? Junpei, the golden disc we found. Do you remember where it was when we found it? I think it was on the bottom left. Why? Oh, I was just thinking. The golden gear. There's nothing in the indentation. I'm pretty sure the golden disc was on the left when we found it. Yeah, okay. But that still doesn't tell me what to do. This is a bronze disc and that's a silver disc. Hey Junpei, do you remember that silver disc? Do you remember where it was when we found it? I think it was on the top? Why? Oh, nothing, just thinking. Please tell me. Put it. I don't know where to put it. Ah, this is the first time I don't get it. A tunnel. Okay. This is the control panel for the conveyor belt. It's covered in lights. Am I just stupid? Conveyor belts. Hold hot. What kind of idiot are you? It's a hell's inferno in there. Of course it's gonna be hot. Alright. What do you want from me, game? Am I just being stupid? I'm scared. The gear's nothing in the indentation anymore. So we don't need to put it here, I guess. Pretty sure the gold disc on the bottom left. Okay, seriously? Okay. Let me just go to my items and just say something. The silver disc. It has a bunch of lines on it, but the red ones are really stand out, right? The red ones, huh? The silver disc. The red lines are especially noticeable. It's red, okay. A gold disc. It has a number of lines engraved on it. I can make out 3 colors here: red, blue, and black. I wonder what they mean. Maybe I can combine them? No. There's something else that I'm missing. I'm missing something. Oh. Oh, can I? Oh, that's... Can There's a deep depression here that looks like the outline of 3 circles. Maybe if we put those 3 discs we found into this thing. Well, there's only one way to find out. Let's stick them in. Huh? That's odd. Nothing's happening. Obviously, Junpei. Maybe you're, I don't know, putting them in the wrong places. Perhaps you have to have them facing the wrong directions. Perhaps you should rotate the discs to make some of the lines connect to one another. Well, no harm in trying. Instructions of operations. When the discs is clicked, they will rotate a certain amount. When the right white arrow is clicked, the discs are switched. Please note that when the discs are switched, the angles for the red discs are reset. Wasn't this here? Wasn't this? There you go. The red lines on these discs. I think maybe I can make some star polygon with these. I found the way out.
Yes! The door's open!
Given the circumstances, Junpei's happiness was certainly understandable. Ace seemed to share his excitement.
All right, Junpei. Why don't you go get June now? Santa and I will keep an eye on the store.
Santa snorted.
Why do we need to do that? Even if it shuts, we know how to solve the puzzle now. We could just open it again.
Well, I suppose that's true. Shall all 3 of us go and collect June then?
Nah, I'm cool. I'll let Junpei handle it.
He still seemed irritated by something, however, and sat down on the stairs petulantly? The fuck is that word? Petulantly.
So are you only interested in being contrary?
Ace sighed with the air of a long-suffering parent.
All right, I'll go get June. I'll be right back.
He gave a quick nod to Ace and Senna and dashed off down the stairs. Before long, he was back on the first floor next to the conveyor belt and June.
Oh, Jumpy!
As he drew closer, she stood up slowly.
Are you okay?
He did his best to sound calm and nonchalant, but there was no hiding the genuine concern in his voice.
Yes, I'm fine now. I'm sorry I made you worry.
June blushed. He wasn't sure if it was embarrassment or if she was embarrassed or if she was still feverish.
Let me check.
Feverish. Just to make sure, he reached out and put his hand against her forehead.
Good. You're feeling a lot better.
He was feeling far less warm than she had earlier, but still wasn't down to what seemed normal to him.
Are you sure you're all right?
He had to be sure. June gave him a look.
Oh, you're such a warrior, Jumpy.
You mean a warrior?
Oops, I mean, warrior.
June giggled. He wasn't sure if she just made a joke or not, but seeing her smile again made Junpei feel at ease. If she was well enough to smile and laugh, then she was really feeling much better. He gave her a friendly poke on the forehead.
All right, let's go.
Go where?
Oh, right. I didn't tell you. We got the exit open, so...
Great! Let's go!
June clasped her hands and nodded urgently. They headed back to the exit, but on their way they found...
Oh, it's...
Santa?
Such a cool picture, this. Santa was sitting on the stairs. He was, however, holding something in his right hand and staring at it with a strange expression. Junpei and June slowed down and finally stopped in front of him.
What are you looking at?
Santa answered without looking up, his voice quiet.
It's a photo. It's my sister.
Sister? Santa, you've got a sister?
Santa simply nodded.
Yeah. Kid was cute as a button.
June cocked her head confused.
She was only about an inch tall then?
Not the thing to say, June. Santa glared at her.
Oh, sorry. I guess an inch is a little large for a button. Probably more like a half inch.
June. Clearly, he's not very happy about his sister. and stuff like that. You could tell. Santa didn't smile or laugh.
Sorry.
Why are you looking at it?
He simply turned back to his picture and spoke.
I was her Santa Claus.
Wait, what?
This sudden revelation took Junpei by surprise. He had no idea what Santa meant. He glanced at June, who shook her head. She didn't know either.
We didn't have parents. They bought it in an accident when we were still kids, so I had to be like her dad. And that meant that I bought her Christmas presents every year.
That is a lot of responsibility for a kid.
Christmas Eve, I'd leave the present next to her pillow. And the next morning, she'd come running into my room with this big smile. Look, look, Santa left me a present. He got me that doll I really wanted. I'm so glad he got my letter. She was always so excited. I was the one who told her to write those letters. I'd say, write down something you want and mail it to Santa. The address I gave her was somewhere in Northern Europe that doesn't exist. Anyway, she'd write the letter and stamp it and send it out. And then a few days later, it'd show up back in our mailbox marked address unknown. I'd open the letters before she figured out they'd been sent back. Once I had the letter, I'd go around to a couple stores with some money I'd saved up over the year and buy her the stuff she'd asked for. It took a lot of saving, but I managed to buy her presents every year.
Good brother.
Huh.
Junpei was silent. He could think of nothing to say.
Huh.
June looked down, uncomfortable. The wall next to him suddenly groaned. Either he hadn't heard the sound or didn't care. Santa kept talking.
But one year, her letter was different. She didn't write a list of toys she wanted or anything like that. Instead, it said, I don't want any presents this year. Instead, I want you to make my wish come true. My wish is that we'll be happy like this for a really, really long time. That was it. Nothing else.
When kids finally realize that, like, things don't make them really happy, but people do. Really cute.
But I couldn't make that wish come true. Some Santa I am.
Santa looked sad. Junpei had never seen him look so sad before. He wasn't sure he liked it. Junpei decided it was probably best not to ask Santa any more questions. But
What happened?
June glanced up at Santa quickly as she spoke. He answered, but only with an effort.
She died. She was killed 9 years ago.
Oh.
Jesus. There was nothing Junpei could say. His heart felt like a great lump of lead. June bit her lip and looked away. Her face was pale.
All right, let's go.
So sad. Her face was very pale. Santa stood up suddenly, his downcast demeanor gone. He shoved the picture back in his pocket and headed back up the stairs, taking two at a time.
Huh?
Junpei and June looked at one another. There was nothing they could think of to say.
Hey, what are you two doing? Let's get moving, come on!
Santa's voice echoed across the room from above them.
Let's go.
Yeah.
They nodded and followed him quickly up the stairs. Ace was waiting for them at the top. He was leaning against the handrail. He looked very tired.
Oh, you're finally back.
The door had shut, but it wasn't a cause for concern.
Sorry we took so long.
Junpei quickly solved the puzzle disc a second time, and the door opened once again. Ace, you just had
Let's go.
a nap, and you're already tired again? In a single file, they walked through. After walking for nearly 15 feet, they found themselves in front of a metal door. It opened easily enough, and they passed through it as well. A new room stretched out before them. The most hated room in this game.
Huh. Is this a warehouse?
No, I believe this is the cargo room. This must be where they store all of this vessel's freight.
There are wooden crates everywhere. I wonder how old they are.
Is that how you say freight? I always said it was fright. But like, I guess fright is also scared. It gave me a fright, you know? So it's freight. Okay. Now I know how to say it. Junpei, Ace, and June had stopped unconsciously, pausing to take in their new surroundings. Santa's voice broke through their momentary trance.
Well, we probably ought to start with finding the exit, right? Let's get going.
Normally you see Junpei's head in that one, but I don't know why it's not saying that, showing that. Secret way out. Hello, sock. But there's a bunch of bags here. I wonder what's in them. A card with the Ninth Man's face printed on it. Really? That's the only thing you're gonna say? What's that? It's a card. It has a headshot on it. A headshot? Yeah, I'm not really sure what purpose this could possibly serve. Santa? Well, if he's not gonna say anything. Clover and Snake together. There's Clover and Snake together. Santa and the Ninth Man together? 7. Me and June, probably. Yep. I don't know what's in these barrels. Judging by their weight, perhaps a liquid of some sort. A small box with a lid on it. That's Ace. I'm sorry for finding this really quick. It's just like, I've played this game a couple of times, so maybe it's just muscle memory. His crates are quite large. They seem to be tied to one another with sturdy straps. Yes, we got the best song again. There are 3 crates here, stacked up like chairs. Oh, sorry. There's 3 crates here, stacked up like chairs. Stacked up like chairs. Stairs? Chairs? What did she say? Stairs or chairs? I don't remember. If we climb up there, I think we can get over the fence. Junpei, do you think you can take a look at that? Sorry, but no thanks. Why? I've got a bad feeling about it. Pussy. Okay, fine. I'll go. Please be careful, Santa. Yeah. But just in case. Wait, what is he gonna do with that screw? I don't see what throwing a screw at the fence is. Holy shit! This... Oh man. There's electricity running through that fence. Looks like it. Then we can't get to the other side. Well, we could jump off those crates, but we wouldn't be able to get back. Okay, well... It's locked. We need a key. All the boxes have numbers on them. Do they, Oh. Ace bent down and picked up something that had been sitting next to the box. Junpei, take a look at this. Cards. Lotus. So we have... Ace. Snake. Snake. Santa, Lotus. Me. Yep, we got everybody.
Now we finally have all 9 picture cards. We just need to insert these cards into the slots at the front of each box.
Junpei stared at the cards in his hands. Ace peered over his shoulder at them.
You know which card goes in which box, yes?
Junpei gave him a look.
Yeah, of course I do. It's really obvious. You just match our numbers to the numbers, then you pop the corresponding card in the right box. So for instance, the card with the picture of Ace on it goes into box 1. The card with the picture of Snake on it goes into box 2, and so on.
Oh, I see.
Dude, you've been weird.
What is it?
Junpei thought he might have imagined it, but could sworn Ace stiffened. Just then, Junpei heard a noise. I swear it's June again. God damn it, June! He spun around just in time to see June collapse in front of the fence.
June, are you okay?
He did not respond. Junpei spun back around to face Ace.
I'm sorry, I gotta go check on her. You finish the box thing, alright? Just put the cards in the boxes. I'm counting on you.
He shoved the cards into Ace's hands and ran off towards June.
Are you alright? What happened?
Junpei called out to her as she
Can you stand?
ran. Just as he arrived, June was climbing onto her feet with Santa's help.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm fine. I just tripped.
Don't give me that. Now is not the time.
But it's true. I tripped over a box.
Just let me see for a sec.
Junpei put his palm on her forehead.
Ah.
And she's like, oh, I like it when you touch my forehead. Yes.
You're still warm.
Her temperature was much the same as he felt it, as it had been at the last time he checked. She wasn't hot like she'd been before, but she was still warm and her fever wasn't completely gone.
I saw her fall. I think she really did just trip on something, you know?
Junpei would have been more willing to agree if June hadn't needed quite so much help standing up.
Still, to fall down like that? I think she's probably still a little messed up.
June was doing her best to busy herself brushing dust off her dress. Her smile looked a little embarrassed and her face was a bit flushed. But she did look a great deal better than she had. Still.
Alright, well, let's just get out of here as fast as we can so we can get you to a hospital.
Oh, I don't think it's anything that serious. I just need a little medicine and some sleep, and I'll be fine.
Medicine, huh? Well, if we could get in touch with anyone outside, I'll bet Ace could swing that for you easy.
Ace? Why?
Huh? Don't you know? He's the president of a pharmaceutical company.
Mm-hmm.
Cradle Pharmaceuticals is the name, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Their flagship product is an anesthetic drug called Soparil.
Soparil beta, perhaps? The thing that he injected himself with?
Soparil. I've heard of that before somewhere.
Junpei couldn't shake the feeling that he'd heard about Soparil before. Santa continued.
Soparil.
Yeah.
It's an anesthetic that's a gas at room temperature. A lot like how nitrous oxide is. It takes only a few seconds to spread, and even a small amount is very effective. A bunch of countries quickly accepted it for widespread use within their police and military forces. It was an effective crowd suppressant and room clearer. It was practical, ethical, and the humane nature of it made it the ideal drug. It's been around for about 6 years. They developed it from the extracts of several different roots. It became popular almost as soon as it was made public, with many governments placing large orders. Demand for Soparil skyrocketed. And of course, that meant Cradle Pharmaceuticals' stock did too.
Why do you know all of this?
Santa's information was interesting, but Junpei couldn't help but feel a little suspicious. Santa's reply was blunt and
I
simple.
heard it from the old man himself.
From Ace? When?
By the number 4 door at the central stairway, when we were searching the second-class room. Remember how Snake, 7, and you went to door 5? It was back then. I asked him what he did for a living, and he said he ran his own company. After that, we just started talking, and I guess it just came up, you know?
Huh.
Are you worried about something?
No, nothing.
As he spoke, Junpei looked over toward Ace. He seemed to be having difficulty with the 9 boxes.
What the hell is he doing?
He turned back to June and Santa.
June, don't push yourself, alright?
Yes.
Santa, could you take care of her? I'll go check on Ace. Looks like he's having trouble.
Sure.
He gave them both a short nod and turned and headed towards Ace.
What are you doing?
Ace's back. Ace's back was back. Ace's back was back to him, yeah, sure. Ace's back was to him, and as Junpei approached. The older man turned around and looked at him. His face was pale and covered in sweat.
What happened?
Nothing. My vision has gotten rather blurry, I think, because of fatigue. I can't see very well at the moment.
What can't you see well?
These pictures.
Ace held the cards out. Junpei's played out in the shape of a fan.
I don't care to admit it, but I may be developing presbyopia. Growing old is a difficult thing.
The fuck is presbyopia? Sorry, I need to know what presbyopia is so I get what he's saying. Presbyopia. Presbyopia. Ah, that thing. Okay. It's basically a natural aging process. When you get old, you can see things worse, like your eyesight worsens for things that are close to you. That's why people need reading glasses and stuff. Like old people have a lot of times have reading glasses. That's what's going on. He made the best attempt he could at a self-deprecating smile, but his face was flushed and his lips were pale and drawn.
At any rate, I'll leave the rest to you. I'm feeling awfully tired, so if you don't mind, I'd like to rest for a bit.
He shoved the cards into Junpei's hands and walked quickly away. Junpei looked at him quizzically.
How could simply looking at cards have tired him out?
He already said that he was tired before this, though. Junpei looked down at the cards in his hands. I mean, I would have just tried to stick every single card into a single box, but all the pictures were quite clear and each person easily recognizable. Was Ace's vision truly so bad?
But if it wasn't, what had made him so uncomfortable?
If it's... I don't know. We just came out of a room with Lotus and she talked about something that was called prosopagnosia. So maybe they got that. Who knows? It was when Junpei remembered what he'd heard from Lotus much earlier. I'm so glad that they did this.
Well, put simply, it means a condition where the mind can't distinguish between human faces. In other words, my face would look the same as Clover's or even yours. So they can't remember faces, which is how most people recognize each other. That means that people with prosopagnosia have trouble recognizing even people they're close to.
Maybe he's got that.
Maybe he's got prosopagnosia?
Junpei took another look at Ace. He sat at the base of the stairs looking quite depressed. I can imagine that makes you quite depressed though, if you can't distinguish people's faces.
Well, he looks depressed enough to have it.
He really did have prosopagnosia. There was no doubt it was a depressing and painful experience. Still, Junpei didn't feel like patting him on the shoulder and telling him everything would be alright would help that much. Still, Junpei felt perhaps... Sorry. You use still in one sentence and then still again? This is bad writing, dude. You don't use the same thing twice. Anyway, sorry. Still, Junpei felt perhaps it was best he keep Ace's condition to himself, at least for the time being.
Oh well.
Doing his best to clear his mind for the task at hand, he turned back towards the boxes.
Time to solve the 9 boxes puzzle.
9 cards with pictures and 9 boxes. Junpei stared at them for a moment and then began.
Ace's card is in box 1, Snake's is in number 2. I just need to do the same for the rest. And finally, the 9th man's card into box 9.
All 9 box lids popped open at once.
Yeah! Oh, they opened!
He peered inside.
What the?
In each box was a single pin.
9 pins?
They looked a little like sewing pins, but much thicker.
I guess I'll take them with me.
I see what you mean. Junpei collected them all quickly and shoved them in his pocket. These stairs, they go up 3 stories. What are you waiting for, Junpei? Whatever, I'm going. There are 6 holes here, and it looks like the pins I just found would be a perfect fit on them. Pick for them. The ones you found in the 9 boxes, right? Well, why don't you try it? Alright, let's see what happens. I think 2, 4, and 6 could go in here on the top part, and 3, 5, and 7 on the bottom part. Well, some of them lit up. Yeah, 3 and 6. I wonder if there's some kind of rule to that determines which lights go on. Well, I put 2, 4, and 6 pins on the top part, and 3, 5, and 7 pins on the bottom. Do you think maybe it's a digital root? The digital root. 2 plus 4 plus 6 is 12, and the digital root of 12 is 3. Therefore, light 3 turns on. 3 plus 5 plus 7 is 15. The digital root of 15 is 6. Therefore, light 6 turns on. Makes sense, right? I see. The lights that match the digital root of the pins inserted on the top and the lower parts will light up. So that's how it works. Well, there's one other thing I'd like to check. Well, if he wants to try, he's certainly welcome. So he put the 1, 2, and 3 pins on the top and the 6, 7, and 8 pins on the bottom. Oh. They turned off. 6 plus 7 plus 8 is 21. The root of 21 is 3. Therefore, light 3 turns off. 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6. The digital root of 6 is 6. Therefore, light 6 turns off. Oh, I get it now. If the digital root of the pins you insert is the same as the number of lights that are lit, those lights turn off. Yeah, it looks like that's the trick. Alright, let's see. Now we know how it works. You want to give it a try? Wait, you mean you know what we're supposed to do with these lights? Well, no, but I figured we could try and see if we could turn them all on, you know? I figured something gotta happen if we manage that. Turn on the lights, huh? Okay, Junpei, let's make sure we know how this works, alright? Pick one of the 6 holes, then pick one of the pins on your hand and insert it in that hole. I like to insert pins in holes. Keep it up until all 6 holes are filled. Once all holes are filled, the lights with the numbers that correspond to the digital roots of the pins in the upper and lower parts will turn on. However, if a digital root corresponds with the light that's already on, the light will be turned off. The goal is to turn all the lights on. Alright, let's do it. Oh, my least favorite puzzle! I hate this puzzle. So, basically, we can do this. And like... Okay. Nothing happened. Fine. We need a digital root of 9 over of 1, so we need to end up at 10. So what if we do 5 plus 4 plus 1, which would make 9 and 10. 1 plus 0 is 1, so then 1 should turn on. Let's see. I'm just gonna go with 9. 9 plus 7 is 16. What, can we end up in a 12? 12. Let's see. Let's just try and get to 1, 2, 3, and just so on. 2. I mean, that wouldn't work. 6. 6 plus 3 plus 2 might work. Yeah. Okay. So let's go to 3. So 13. So that would be 7. 7. 3 plus 2. That would turn into 12. So the digital root would be 3. No. 9 plus 4 would be 13. No. I mean, I could make... Let me think. I'm just thinking real quick, sorry. This is the, like I said, this is my least favorite puzzle because it requires a lot of calculus. 7 plus 3 plus 2, that's 10, that's 12, that would be 12, 1 plus 2 is 3, and then we need 4. That would be 17. Oh, wait. Heh! 22. 2 plus 2 is 4. So 5. Nine plus 9 plus 3. That would be 12, right? No, that makes no sense. It's 4? That would be 13. That would be 14, and that would be 5. There's a root which would be 5. Okay. That would be 8. I'm just gonna try with 5. That would be 8. And we need to make 6. 8. Calculator! My brain is already starting to hurt. Okay, no, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. How about 2 plus 8? There. Now we still need the 7 and the 8. Okay. Okay, we don't want that. We don't want that. Could you do that? 1 plus 2 plus 4 would make 7. Then we would probably have to go in double digits. So 9 plus 6 would be 16. Well, it would be 15, but it would be 6, I mean. That would be 9 though. Okay. We have the 5. 5 plus 3. That would work. That would work. 9. 5 plus 3. There we go. Calculators are awesome. Calculators are so awesome. All the lights are on and the shutters opened up now. Hey, does that mean... Yeah, we gotta do it again. Man, I thought I was doing so well. Okay, so we got 9 holes and there's an F up above them, so we need to end up at 15. I don't know what the F means, but I know one thing. What's that? This time there's 9 holes, so we need to insert 9 pins. Man, that's boring. Well, why don't you just try it, alright? We need to make 15 everywhere, I'm sure. Somehow. I don't know. This is gonna be really hard. Like, I'm just gonna put... Would it be hilarious if it just was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That would be so funny. No? Okay. Alright, 5 plus... I mean, digital root. But does it have to be the digital root? No, it doesn't, I think. I mean, technically, this is 15 right here. So I'm just gonna keep that then. Let's see. 4 plus... Let's see. I'm just trying some things. I'm calculating on my calculator, just so you know. That could possibly work. That is 15. Like, I know that these all are 15, but I don't know if they're 15 like this, though. I mean, the first one, the 3 + 1 + 2, definitely not. So I'm gonna try and do this. But then it's 3 + 9 + 2. That would make 14. Bet we're gonna get stuck here a lot for a long time. But like 8 + 9 + 2 is 19, so let me switch those back around. No, the other way around, please. This way around, please. Thank you. It was 1 + 2. So what if we do 8 down here, 3 up here, but switch about the 7 and the 2 here? Does that work? 3 + 1 + 7? No. It doesn't. I am sorry, I'm gonna cheat. Because I hate this puzzle. So close, yet so far. This has to be changed. I was very close. The 5 in the middle is accurate. This was accurate too. See how close I was? I just had two really bad matches. There we go, all pins inserted, all lights lit. We did it! The power's on now. It looks like there's electricity going to the monitor on top now. Alright, let's see if we can activate the device on top. Alright. And I think I'm gonna leave the episode here because it's been a long while that I've been recording, so we will finish this puzzle and then next time, and then we'll probably also get an ending and we'll start up a new episode as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, I hope you have a great day today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.